When I think about what could be exogenous or external threats to growth, I do think in this era of the mega trend of our generation is technology, there's going to be a lot of disruptors, and I think many industries and many companies are going to have to think about how to disrupt themselves so that they don't lose share to more non-traditional competitors. So I look at the playing field, perhaps having different entrants, and how do we make sure we stay competitive and ahead of the curve so we can serve our clients best. When I look at the competitive landscape, I think the days of being able to just think of other banks as your competitor are over. I think we've seen the emergent new entrants that are being driven by technology. I think we have to both learn how to be competitive and differentiated against what our other bank competitor or financial service competitors. And then I have this saying that if you don't like change, you're going to hate extinction. And so we have to almost disrupt ourselves to understand what some of the non-bank competitors are going to do to create convenience and offerings for our clients. But being a regulated industry, there are some bars or hurdles that have to be cleared that will make some piece of that competitive dynamic from non-bank entrants harder than it might be in other business models. I think we suddenly are in the position where it's not sticks or bricks, sticks and bricks or clicks. I think we've got to have both. And over time, how do we manage our physical presence versus our digital presence and make sure that across them they get a good quality experience, the solutions and advice they need, and be prepared to say what are the trends for when one is starting to eclipse the other, and how would you redeploy your physical or your branch presence, because people, when it comes to opening accounts, big problems in their life or solutions in their life, they still want to meet with people. Technology is the big mega trend of our generation, and I do think it is both an opportunity and a threat. So I see that if we embrace it, we are becoming more efficient, we're becoming more effective, we're becoming more customer convenient and customer centric. On the other hand, I think some piece of the threat is that there are new companies, smaller companies that can create a niche where they can meet a need. So I think we think, how can we partner with those so we don't necessarily cede that capability to a non-bank competitor? When you think about what would be the barriers or the challenges to forming partnerships, I think first and foremost is you own the client, you own their experience, you own their safety, you own their security, you own the solution, you own the advice. So any partner that you introduce into that value chain, you have to make sure they have a high standard and a standard that's equivalent to yours, that treating your customer with that same level of care, integrity for their financials, integrity for their private data, and the quality of the product that they're going to experience. One of the line items in our budget that we pay most attention to right now is our technology investments, because as in all things, resources are limited and we have to prioritize them, and we want to make sure that we're getting the most bang for our buck from our technology investments. So not only what we're investing in, what priorities, at what cost is important, but I think the real ability for our technology people to connect to our business people and make sure there is a clear objective about what we're trying to accomplish, what does success look like, what is the ultimate client experience, to make sure that those investment dollars are really producing what we want, is a critical component of success, not just monitoring the list of what you want to have from a technology point of view. It truly has to be linked back to the business. When you look at the skills that are necessary in this day and age, some of the traditional places we would have gone seeking talent in an era of big data, technology, social media, it is very different. We used to have a strong preference that somebody understood banking or financial services, and now you cast a much wider net across many different industries because you're looking for distinct capabilities that they can transplant that they've experienced elsewhere to help you build it, because many of these are new to banking. So we have found that we need to look in different and diverse places for talent that can help us build out this big data, social media, technology-driven world. The one thing that I think is the most critical capability for CEOs to cultivate is the ability to lead and manage people. At the end of the day, I think leadership is about motivating your employees, about understanding and meeting the needs of your customers, as well as hearing their voice and making sure your organization is customer-centric. I think it's about understanding how you create value for your shareholders, how you maintain the appropriate relationships with your regulators, and at the core of that is your ability to hear, listen, influence, and lead and manage people in a way that the outcomes are good across all those constituents.